Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a pumpkin. As we're getting to the good old Halloween, I thought it would be a little fun project to do. This particular one we're going to be making on video is just a small pumpkin. He measures about 1 inch high and a couple of inches in width as well. But I'll give details on how you can make bigger pumpkins using the same method if you want to. And we're going to be using two colours. We're going to be using green and orange. You can use brown and orange if you want to. And this is just a DK light worsted weight yarn. We're also going to be using 2 crochet hooks. The main crochet hook we're going to be using today is the 3.5 E hook. And we're also going to need a 2.5mm crochet hook as well. You can use a 2.75 or whatever you've got, that as long as it's smaller than the 3.5 you'll be fine. And you also need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle and some toy stuffing as well. And I'm actually going to be using some leftover scraps of yarn in a similar colour to the orange, just to use up some old scraps that I seem to be increasingly collecting. So rather than waste toy stuffing, I'll be using up some old yarn. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so to begin your pumpkin, you want to start off with a 3.5mm E crochet hook, and you want to take your orange DK light worsted weight yarn. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to work 6 single crochet into a magic circle. Now, if you haven't done the magic circle before, then I'll put a link in the description below to my tutorial on the magic circle, which shows you how to do it in more detail. But for now, we're just going to work 6 single crochet into a magic circle. So we're going to do our little dummy stitch. My dummy stitch is explained in my other tutorial as to why I do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then all we do is making sure our stitches are all facing the right way, is we just pull our tail end to tighten the hole, our loop, and then we're just going to slip stitch into our first stitch. And because we did that dummy stitch, our first stitch, we actually count as a stitch. It's a lot easier to see. So just slip stitch to join the round, like so. And we've got 6 stitches by the end of that first round. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into the next stitch with 2 single crochet. And we're going to work 2 single crochet into each stitch around. So we end up with 12 stitches. So we do 1 single crochet and then another in the same stitch, then 2 in the next one, so that's 4, and then 2 in the next one, 5 and 6. And the last 2, 11 and 12. A little bit tight, that last one. And there we go. So by the end of that round you should have 12 stitches. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go straight into the next stitch. So that's 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to do an increase, and we're going to do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2, then we're going to do a single crochet by itself in the next stitch. So that's 4. And then we're going to do 2, an increase again of 2 single crochet. That's 5 and 6. And we're just going to repeat that round, doing 1 single crochet by itself in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet increase in the next stitch, until you have 18 stitches by the end of this round. So we're just coming up to the last 2 stitches. We do 1 by itself, 16, and then 2 in the very last stitch, 17 and 18. So you should have 18 stitches by the end of that round. We've just increased by 6 again. Okay, so on to the next round. We're actually going to be doing a single crochet in the next stitch like we did before by itself, but then we want to do another single crochet in the next stitch by itself, and then we're going to do our increase of the 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So that's 1 and 2, and you just want to repeat that round. So we're going to do the next stitch 1 single crochet by itself, and in the next stitch 1 single crochet by itself, and then we're going to do our increase of 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So that's 1 and 2. So you just want to repeat that round to the end, doing 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and until you get to the end of that round you should have 24 stitches. So let's do that now. I'm just coming up to the last 3. So that's 1 single crochet, stitch 23 and 21, and 1 single crochet, 22, and then the last 2, 23 and 24. Okay, so by the end of that round you should have 24 stitches, and you should find that all your increases are lining up together like so. Okay, so on the next round you want to be working a single crochet by itself in the next stitch like we have been before, and then another single crochet by itself, and then another single crochet by itself. So this time you're doing 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then we're going to do our increase of 2 single crochet, which should line up with our previous increases. I'm just going to repeat that round, doing 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then our increase of 2 single crochet, and just repeat that round, and by the end of that round you should have 30 stitches. So let's do that now. So that's 1 single crochet by itself, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochet. Now just come to the last stitch, 29 and 30. So by the end of that round you should have 30 stitches, and all your increases should line up together. Now then, if we're going to stop there for this particular size pumpkin, but if you wanted to make a bigger pumpkin, this is literally, you could just make it bigger and bigger and bigger. You just repeat the same method. Now if I show you on paper here, we can see here we started off with our 6 single crochet, and then we did an increase of 2 single crochet in each stitch around to double up to 12, and then we just did 1 single crochet by itself, and then we did our increase of 2 single crochet and repeated that round to get 18. And on the next round you can see we did 2 single crochet, we did 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we did an increase of 2 single crochet. And on the last round we've done 1 single crochet in 3 stitches and then our increase, and you can see a pattern emerging. So if you wanted to increase using the same method, we're going up by, you can see it says the 6 times table, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So we know at the end of the next round we should have 36. But what we would do, we'd actually do 1 single crochet in the next 4, and then we would do our increase. And the next round we do 1 single crochet in the next 5, and then our increase, and then 1 single crochet in the next 6, then our increase, and then 7, and increase, and so on and so forth, following our 6 times table. So the more rounds you do of increases like this, the bigger your pumpkin will be. But do bear in mind that the bigger you make this at the beginning, the more length you will need to do to make it a good round shape. But what we're going to do now is we're going to stop at 30 stitches, and we're going to just go straight into our length now, and that's just working 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So we just stay at 30 stitches, and we're going to do that for 5 rounds. So we just go straight into the next stitch, doing 1 single crochet, and we just do 1 single crochet into each stitch around, so that we still have 30. So we're going to do 5 rounds of 1 single crochet in each stitch around. But if you're doing a bigger pumpkin, then you may need to do more than 5 rounds, so that you get a good round shape. So obviously the bigger you've got, the more length you're going to need, so you want to experiment with that. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 rounds of just 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm just doing the very last stitch after doing the 5 rounds of 1 single crochet. 30, there we go. And I still have 30 stitches, so it looks a little bit something like that. So we stopped doing our increase and we just did 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and that creates our length. And now it looks like a tiny little beanie. The method is exactly the same as making a hat. And what we're going to do now is we're actually going to start decreasing. So we're going to bring it back into a ball shape, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So we're doing it in reverse now. So if you have a look at this, we did our 1 single crochet in 3 stitches, then we did an increase. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3, and then we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. So I'll just show you how to do that. So we do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And instead of doing an increase, we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. So we're going to go into the next stitch, grab our yarn, then into the next stitch and grab our yarn. So we've got 3 loops, and then yarn through all 3 loops for our decrease. I'm just going to repeat that round. So we do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, so that's 1, then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to single crochet the 2 stitches together. So we go into our next stitch, grab our yarn, into our next stitch, grab our yarn. So we've got 3 loops, then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So just repeat that round, doing 1 single crochet in the next 3, and then our single crochet 2 stitches together until you end up with 24 stitches again. Okay, so what we're going to do now is you should have 24 stitches by the end of that round, and we're going to do another round of decreases. So what we're going to do this time, as you can see on here, on this round, same amount of stitches as this round here when we're doing our increase of 24, but this time we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2, and then we're going to single crochet 2 stitches together. Okay, so let's do that. So we do single crochet in the next stitch and a single crochet in the next stitch, so just those 2, and then we're going to do our decrease. So we're going to put our hook through the next stitch, grab our yarn, hook through the next stitch, grab our yarn. So we've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops for our decrease. And to repeat that round, so we do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, so that's 1 and 2, and then we're going to do our decrease. So we put our hook through the next stitch, hook through the next stitch. So we've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and just repeat that round until you end up with 18 stitches. Okay, so just going up to the very last 2, we're going to do our decrease. So we've got a hook through the next stitch, hook through the next stitch. So we've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. And by the end of that round, you should have 18 stitches. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to do another round of decreases, and we're going to just do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, just the one, and then we're going to go straight into our decrease. So hook into the next stitch, grab our yarn, hook into the next stitch, grab our yarn. So we've got 3 loops, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And we just repeat that round, so we do 1 single crochet in the next stitch by itself, and then I'll decrease over the next 2, like so. And we just repeat that round until you end up with 12 stitches. Okay, so just come up to the very last 2 for our last decrease, like so. And by the end of that round you should have 12 stitches. And what we're going to do now is just double check we've got 12 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, yeah. And what you want to do now is just go into the next stitch and do a slip stitch, like so. And then we're going to cut our yarn, and we're going to pull it up, like so. Okay, so the next thing to do is we need to get our stuffing. And I'm going to be using leftover yarn here, and we're going to stuff our little pumpkin so far. So let's stuff him. Now you want to make him fairly firm. Okay, so you just want to mould him into a good round shape, and I think that will do. So he's fairly firm but a little bit squishy as well. And then you want to take some orange yarn, take a good length of orange yarn, like so, and then we're going to bring in our yarn needle. Okay, so when you've got your yarn needle, you want to take your length of orange yarn and thread that onto your yarn needle. And what we're going to do is we're going to go straight down through the middle at the top, through our stuffing, and we want to bring it out in the dead centre of the bottom, like so. And you want to leave a good length at the other end. And what we're going to do is this is going to create our pumpkin shaping, and what we're going to do is we've got 12 stitches at the top, and we're going to divide that. We want 6 edges like these, 6 edges in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because we've got 12 stitches at the top, we're going to sew through every 2 stitches around. So let me just show you. So what we want to do is we've just come out the bottom, we want to line up our thread, and we're going to go through one of the stitches at the top. It doesn't matter which one at the moment, just go through one of the stitches at the top, like so. And you'll see that the your yarn's on the outside of your pumpkin. Now, holding the tail end nice and tightly, you want to pull that nice and tight. A little bit difficult at the beginning because it's loose at the top, but you can see that when you pull these in, it'll start to make our pumpkin shape. So what we want to do now is we actually want to go straight back down through the middle and out through the dead centre, like so. And that should, when we pull it now, holding onto our tail end just in case, that should really start to bring in our pumpkin shape, like so. And then what we want to do now is come out at the bottom again, so we want to just put that round the edge, like so. And this time we want to go into the second stitch along from the last one we went to. So we went through that one there, so we don't want to go through that one. we want to go through the next one. So the second stitch along from our last stitch. And like so, we can pull that nice and tight as best you can. You probably just want to go straight down through the middle and out the bottom again. In the dead centre, like so, then it's easier to pull it tight. And when you pull it tight, you can really see our pumpkin shape starting to come together. So moving round to the next one, we're going to do 6 of these. As we went into, that's our last stitch we went into there. So we want to skip the next one and we want to put it through the second stitch along, like so. And then we want to go down through the middle again and out through the bottom. And because we've already put the stuffing in, it gives us a little bit more leverage to pull it tight, like so. So we've done 3 of those, so I'm just going to carry on and do 3 more. So you want to make sure they're evenly spaced as best you can. So we went through that stitch there, and then that was the one we slip stitched into, so we want to go through, let me just work this out, this one here, second stitch along from the last one, like so. And we want to go straight down through the middle and out the bottom again. And then pull tight. Okay, so just want to repeat that twice more, making sure to space it out really well. We went through that one there, so I want to go through this one here. Oops. This time. My stuffing's in the way. There we go. Then we go straight down through the middle and out the bottom. And then we can pull it tight, like so. And the very last one, space between those two, second stitch along, like so. And then we go straight down through the middle out the bottom again, so we can tighten it nice and tight. Put it tight, like so. There we go, you can really see your pumpkin coming together. And then just slightly along, perhaps not going through the same hole, so we then want to bring our yarn back up from the bottom to the top, oops, through the middle, like so. And take the yarn needle off. Pull that really nice and tight, then pull your tail end tight, not confused with that piece there, tail end tight, and we want to tie that in a double knot, like so. Okay, and there we have our basic pumpkin shape. You can just squeeze it to shape a bit better. So that's how you make the pumpkin shape, and obviously that will work on any size pumpkin. You just do exactly the same method, and it just bunches it in equally spaced, and just make sure, depending on how many stitches you have at the end, divide that equally up. And I usually find about 6 for these smaller ones, 6 little edges like that work really well. Okay, so what we want to do now is we're going to hide these tail ends in. I'm just going to trim them down a bit. I'm going to tuck those inside, like so. And I'm also going to hide this tail end as well. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I've just hidden my tail ends on the inside, and what we're going to do now is we're going to work on the top stalk part, and I'm going to bring in my green yarn, and this is DK light worsted weight yarn as well. And we're going to still be working, for now, we're going to still be working with the 3.5mm crochet hook. And what you want to do is go into any one of your top stitches, like so, and join your green yarn. that getting your stuffing in the way. Go back in. So put our hook in, grab our green yarn and bring that through, and then we're just going to secure that with a single crochet, or a chain rather, like so. And then we're just going to work one single crochet into each stitch around, and you should have 12 stitches, so count as you go. So we'll count the chain as a stitch as well, so that's 2 stitches you got there. And 3. 4. Okay, so I'm just going up to the last stitch. 11 and 12, and then you just want to slip stitch into that chain one that you did at the very beginning. A little bit fiddly. There we go. So you should look a little something like that. You should still have 12 stitches. What we're actually going to do now is we're going to change to our smaller hook. So in this case I'm using a 2.5mm. So we're going to change over, and what you want to do is we're just going to go straight into the next stitch, and we're just going to still work one single crochet in each stitch around, so we still have 12 stitches. So just go straight into the next stitch and work one single crochet in each stitch around. Because you're using a smaller hook, it's a little bit easier than using a big hook. It also makes it taper in a bit at the top. That's 3. So it's coming up to the last stitch. So it's 11, and the very last one, I just have to hold it a bit fiddly to see. And 12. Like so. What I recommend doing now is, let's just open up the top part at the end of our crochet hook. What I recommend now is actually hiding that tail, sewing that in so that's firmly in place. So I'm just going to do that by sticking it on the yarn needle, and what I do is I just go straight down to the middle, bottom middle, like so. Bring that down, pull nice and tight, and just go back up again. And it'll get all stuck in the filling on the inside. So there we go, and then we can just use the end of our, let's just pop that out a bit, end of our, actually what I find quite good to poke stuffing in with is the end of the scissors. So there we go, just push that down. And what we're going to do now is just going to work, making sure we're still using our 2.5 hook. We're just going to work another one single crochet in each stitch around. So we're going to go straight into the next stitch. If you can see it. Like so. Always the fiddliest part. So that's 1. And 2. And just work one single crochet into each stitch around until you still have 12 stitches. It's coming up to the last stitch, and don't worry, it's not as fiddly as I'm making it look. It's just that I've got this camera in front of me, which makes it further away from my viewpoint, so it's harder to see. Okay, so when you've finished that round, what we want to do is just slip stitch into the next stitch. So bring your yarn through, then work as a slip stitch, and then you want to cut your tail end, but you want to leave a good length because we're going to sew up the remainder like so. So you just slip stitch and then just pull that through. Like so. And then getting your crochet hook, just work out the top shape. And what we want to do is we want to add a tiny little bit of stuffing to the top. So I'm going to bring back in my scrap pieces of yarn, and I find the easiest thing to use to push stuffing into small holes is the end of the scissors. I want to stuff that in until it's filled fairly firmly. Let's see if that's enough. That should be enough. That's really good. Like so. And all we're going to do is we're going to bring back our yarn needle and thread the end of our tail end onto it. And we're just going to sew up the remaining hole by going into the next stitch like so, and then we're going to come straight back out the following stitch like so. It's going to create like a concertina effect, sort of drawstring effect. So we're going to go into the next stitch like so, then out through the next one. There's a much easier way to close up small spaces. Then into the next stitch, then out through the next. Like so, and into the next, and out the next. Like so, you can see it's having like a drawstring effect at the top. So into the next, out the next, like so, and just continue doing that all the way around, regardless of round, until the remaining hole is closed at the top. It might get a little bit difficult to see at the end, so you can go a bit random. How daring! Like so. And when you're happy, this is the only tail end we've got left to hide. So what I do is I just go straight down the middle in the top like so, and just come out down the bottom somewhere like so. And then I'm going to go back in and come out at the side like so. So that's hidden there, and you've got it sticking out the side. What we're going to do is we take our yarn needle off, and then we push our project down with our 2 fingers and pull your yarn tight like so. And taking your scissors whilst pushing down on your project, keeping it nice and tight, trim your yarn and let your project pop up, and you can see that's disappeared on the inside. And there we go, and you can just shape the stalk with your fingers, and there's your finished pumpkin. So there we go. I'll join that in with the other one. So there we go, got a couple of little pumpkins all ready for Halloween. And of course you can add little cute faces, amigurumi faces if you want to, or more scary faces. You could always use some black felt and use fabric glue to stick it on, or you can make them into a key ring, whatever you fancy. But I really hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I'll see you soon for some more crochet fun. Thanks for watching. Bye!